We continue now at the top of Daf Pehei Aleph and Meseches Shabbos. This is Shabbos Daf 85a. The Gemara just finished discussing the Mishnah, which said that you can have a patch that's 6 by 6 tvachim and filled with 5 different kinds of seeds. And in such a scenario, you're going to have a distance of at least 3 tvachim between the different kinds of seeds, or there's going to be a hecker that they're not really being planted together, and therefore it's not a problem. So the Gemara wants to know, how do they know the exact dimensions? So the Gemara says, V'kim l'hu l'Rabbanan, because the Rabbanan established T'chamisha b'shisa lo yanki, that when you have 5 different kinds of seeds in an area of 6 by 6 tvachim, lo yanki mehadadi, they're not going to take the nutrients from one another. And Rashi says here, Kim l'hu l'Rabbanan, it was established to the Rabbanan, the stam aruga hanizraz bo hezironin kachi midasa. This is the measurement for 5 different kinds of seeds. T'chamisha zironin b'shisa tvachim lo yanki emtsoi, that the middle one is not going to have nutrients from the ones on the edges. V'sheberuchos mehadadi, they're not going to take from the ones on the side. T'shir yanikas kol zera tefechu mechza im makom hazera, because the amount of every individual seed, how much does it take the nutrients from the ground? It's a circumference of one, or a radius of a tefach and a half, and you just draw that as a circle with a radius of a tefach and a half, and that's the amount. Harei min hazera hanizra b'gvul haruga keneged ho'emtzai v'adem ho'emtzai gimel tvachim. It's going to be 3 tvachim, and that's the measurement that the Rabbanan established. So the Gemara says, how do we know that the Rabbanan's understanding of how the plants work and how they take the nutrients from the ground, how do we know that we can rely on that? Because Rav Chia bar Abba said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, what does it mean when it says in the pasuk lo sasik gvul reacha asher gavlu rishonim? It says the pasuk's talking about not to go along the border and take over the property of your neighbor, but it says asher gavlu rishonim, that the earlier people, that they made the boundary. So the Gemara darshans gvul she gavlu rishonim lo sasik. If there was a boundary that was made in the earlier generations, you shouldn't trespass that boundary. My gavlu rishonim, what is that referring to? What is this earlier boundary? Amar Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amar Rabbi Yonasan. So Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani says, in the name of Rabbi Yonasan, D'chsiv, what it's really referring to is that the pasuk says, Eila b'nei Seir hachori yoshvei haaretz. It says that the children of Seir, the Chori, they dwelt in the land of Eretz Yisrael in the earlier generations. So the Gemara says, Atu kuli alma yoshvei rakia ninu. Why do we refer to them as yoshvei haaretz, the people who dwell on the land, who dwell on the earth? Do other people dwell in the sky? So obviously it has some meaning. Elashayu bikian biyeshuva shel eretz. Obviously, or rather what it means is that they were experts in the settlement of the land. They knew exactly how the agriculture worked. Shayu omrim, because they said, Malo kana zelazayis, malo kana zelagafanim. This little area of earth is good for olives. This area is good for vines. Malo kana zelata'enim. This is good for figs. And why does it refer to them as chori v'chori shemarichem es haaretz? They're called chori because they could smell the earth and know what to plant there. V'chivi, why are they called chivi? Amar Rav Papa says, Shayu to'amin as haaretz kechivi. They could taste the earth like a snake, and again they would know what to plant there. They knew the entire horticulture of the earth. Rav Acha bar Yaakov, Amar Rav Acha bar Yaakov says, Chori shenasu b'nei chorim minechsein. He says a different pshat. The language of Chori is that they were freed from their land, meaning they were driven out of the land because they were, as Rashi says over here, shenitradu minachalosam v'lo hutzrachu lavo. They don't need to work the land. They were thrown off the land. Lo hutzrachu lavo admasan kedechsivu v'nei Esav Yeroshim. It says that the Bnei Esav drove them out. Okay, so that's a different interpretation of what the Chori refers to. The Gemara now continues here. Amar Rav Asi says, Aruga tocha vav chutz migvuleh. When we talk about a patch of earth that's 6 by 6 tvachim, we're not including the area around the earth that the person needs to walk around it. That's like a tefach that the person needs to walk around it to in order to water it, in order to plant it properly. If you would have counted that tefach, so then everything would go in a tefach. You wouldn't have 6 by 6. You would really have just like 4 by 4 because you'd subtract the tefach on each side. Tanya Namiyachi, we have a brayso like this as well. Aruga tocha shisha. We're talking about the inside being 6 by 6. Kvule bekama. How much is the surrounding boundary area that the person walks when he's planting? Kedetanan, as we learned in the Mishnah. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Rabbi Yehuda says rochev kimalo rochev parsa. The amount of a parsa. Rashi says parsa here refers to the amount a person steps. Essentially a tefach. That's the amount a person needs in order to walk around. Amar Reb Zera v'itemer Rabbi Chanina bar Papa. Reb Zera says, some people say it's Reb Chanina bar Papa, says, my time is Reb Yehuda. What's the reason of Reb Yehuda? Where does he know that this is the amount that you need surrounding to walk around it? T'chsiv, like it says, v'shkisa b'raglecha kagan hayarak, with your feet you water the vegetable, the area of the vegetable garden. Ma regel tefach afik vol nami tefach, just like a regel takes up about a tefach, that is the boundary that you need around the garden in order to water it, to plant it properly. Amar Rav says, Aruga bechurva shaninu. When we talk about this patch, it's in a desolate area. It's not surrounded by other patches of earth. Rashi here explains, Amar Rav, Aruga bechurva shaninu b'mishnaseinu lahatir bohei zironin. When we talk about having 5 different kind of plants, there's nothing surrounding it. Avolosh svivoseh arugos. There's not other patches around it. Sharei lo pirshu loch elhefer zironin shebesocha. We're only talking about separating from the one in the middle to the ones on the side. V'im tizra arugos svivoseh lo tucha laharchik beinosan shebesocha. If you have a patch right next to it, there's not enough separation between one patch and the next. V'lazros and sheberuchas arugas samach legvul harchikan min emtzoi keshiur lefi shatam makrivo etzel zerhan is bechaverta. Looking at this picture, if you had a fully planted on the edges over here, and this was fully planted on the edges, then these are too close together. So that's the problem. So that's why it has to be. It's an empty area. So the Gemara says, Vayika makam kronos. But what about the areas of the corners? And Rashi here explains, why not have a situation like this? And plant in the middle. Basically, exactly like the picture says. Why don't you plant it like this? Put plants over here, put seeds over here, but don't go all the way to the edge. Don't fill this area. And in this patch, go over here and not fill this area. So now they're a little distant from each other, and you don't have to worry that they're too close together. That could have been a case where it was not didn't have to be bechor, but now you could have 9 different patches over here. You could have 3, 6, 9 different patches. It's not going to be a problem. So the Gemara says, Amri beirav mishmei derav v'memalias akronos. No, because the case the Gemara the Mishnah specifically was talking about was when you're memalias akronos, you fill an entire side, and if you're filling an entire side, you can't have a patch next to it. So the Gemara says, "Velizra me'avroi v'lo limli megavoy." Well, why not? Well, why is that the case? Why not plant on the outside and not fill it up totally? Rashi says, "Velizra me'avroi v'yakifena arugos mikol tzad." Put a patch on every side. V'yasakron shabesocha lo yimale. Don't fill all the kronos. Again, do something along those lines. Umay duchke de Rav look me baruga shebechur v'shein shamelahi. Why did Rav need to say that the cases where the aruga is in a desolate area and there's nothing next to it? Why did he need to say that you're filling the entire side up and therefore you can't have anything next to it? And that we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Pei Hey Amud Beis.